Hello, Mr. Gill.
Good morning, Professor Snape.
Let me see if I can go to this view. No, that doesn't work. Oh, now I have you side by side.
Oh, very good.
So let me just go there. Oh, excellent. Yes, I have been helping Mr. Pierce with some of his home schooling, and I had a few questions that I thought I'd fire your way.
We're happy to help anyone who's assisting our students, Professor Snape. What do you have for me?
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm just wondering in the role of discipline, because they're quite unruly, what am I or aren't I allowed to do?
Well, I'm unfamiliar with the disciplinary actions you might have used at Hogwarts. Perhaps you could give me some scenarios of things you were thinking.
Well, I've been reading this lovely text called Matilda, and there's a rather interesting fellow in there called the Trunchbull, and they mention about locking kids in the Chokey, which I think is a wonderful idea. Would that be something that would be considered okay?
No, and I'd clarify that is a text, but it's a work of fiction, and that I believe it's Miss Trunchbull, it's not a man, does lock people in something quite scary called the Chokey, but no, not a form of discipline we would endorse.
Right, because she's a very masculine person. What about forcing a little kid to eat a whole chocolate cake?
No, we wouldn't advocate forcing children to eat anything or share any of their food, as per our usual policies around the consumption of foods and allergy awareness.
Right, and so then swinging someone around by their pigtails, that would be a no-no?
Yeah, much as before with the Chokey, not a form of discipline we would certainly use. If you were thinking of them, they might be strange to you, but having some form of restorative conversation with the student would be a really good start.
Talking to them.
Yep, yes, essentially the major part of that is talking to them, establishing what went wrong and who was harmed, and then finding a way forward to repair that relationship.
Now, one of my favourite things to do when I'm at Hogwarts is if someone's not buckling down and doing the things that I ask, is I give them a swift hit over the back of the head with a book. I'm assuming that would be okay?
Once again, probably falls into that physical violence category, which we haven't had in schools in Victoria for many decades.
Right. I don't know about all these hippy-dippy allowances for children. Now, on some of the begoogly slide thingies, it says suggested learning. Could you provide some clarification over suggested learning? Because it seems like a airy-fairy thing to me.
Look, really, the word suggested there is just for those working remotely that might not be able to cope with doing the entirety of the work. We'd love that every family be able to complete all the work that's sent through from their teachers, but people in very different boats during this unprecedented time. So suggested is really there just obviously to make people feel better that if they complete one or two of the tasks and that's all they can manage, we are understanding.
You're placing a lot of emphasis on how they feel.
Look, I mean, people's emotions are quite heightened during this time, and they could be potentially quite anxious. I understand that feelings are not necessarily a major concern of yours, Professor Snape, but the emotional...
I have a heart. I had it broken once.
This is true. This is true. And look, understandably, that would have been a very hard thing for you to process. You had a great affection for Mr. Potter's mother, from memory, and that wasn't returned, and that must have hurt.
You're crushing my spirit, Mr. Gill. Well, thank you very much for your input today. I don't know how much of it provides clarification over what I can and can't do. However,
there'll be some clarification there on a lot of things you can't do, Professor Snape.
Right. So what can I do?
As again, their timeout could be a potential option if a child does need to take a break from their work and perhaps sit by themselves to reflect on their behaviour.
Like in a small room?
Yes, a small room with still some visibility for supervision, yes.
Okay, well, I hope you have a wonderful day. I know that I probably will not.